So our first question is, given the size of some operations, does it make sense to prepare a 5-year plan?
Yeah, I can start on this one, I guess, and Dale or Lisa, please add. I guess to start, the regulation still requires a 5-year plan. You know, we used to start a lot of our courses about not debating the reg. The reg is the reg. We have heard this comment from livestock organizations and others as well, that the nutrient management plan in some cases is potentially overkill, or it's on top of other planning documents that are already in place. Some of the challenge is, you know, even in the question, most operations, you know, the problem is we need all operations to be doing nutrient management planning. If, you know, if there was another way that was being done by all, then that would be a different story, I guess. But right now, still required by the regulation, any farm over 300 nutrient units or 300 nutrient units and above requires that 5-year plan. And yeah, I would say it's on a list to consider for the regulation, but right now it is a requirement. Dale, Lisa, anything to add to that?
Nope, you covered it well, Matt.
I think you got it, Matt. Right now we do compliance on what the reg currently says, but certainly understand that might be something worth revisiting at some point.
I think we heard you, Lisa, but you were pretty faint.
Sorry, I just said when we do compliance, obviously we're doing it on the current regulation. But yeah, I understand that might be a topic worth visiting at some point in terms of reg amendments.
Thank you. All right, if I can, there. What is the importance of the business registration number, and how is it used by whomever is asking for it?
Sure. So you'll remember, I think it was the last meeting we went over this. There is a good section on nutrientmanagement.ca on the one business number. So I'll give you kind of a quick answer, but there's lots of information there on the business registry number. So it's part of a government-wide program. So all government programs for businesses ask for this number now. And it's the intent is that at some point we'll be able to link all business information together, and it's really supposed to help businesses so that they're not providing the same information over and over. And obviously the first step is to collect this number so that at some point that linking can happen. You know, strategies are coming in without the business number. There's no way to link them in the future to other business information that's been submitted to the province, maybe potentially federally as well. So that's the reason. Wasn't our choice. It's still not our choice. It's something that all government programs have to do. Is when a business is applying for something, they have to also provide their business number.
Good, thank you. All right. Will the ERF and complexity assessment tools be added into the new online AgriSuite?
I'll take this one, I guess, Matt. We certainly have the opportunity to add some of these things into AgriSuite, and as we move to a more electronic submission process, perhaps we can get some of these things added in. The link to the engineering requirement form and several different things is there in the program. It's the link to the Ridgetown website. There are things that can be added to AgriSuite. There's a few questions that were kind of along this line. We can certainly look at it, not going to promise that everything's going to be there. Something like a form that can change will be hard to embed, but we certainly can probably find a link to it or something like that.
Yeah, I'll jump in here really quickly, and certainly the direction of the future is to be able to have a standalone system that is electronic. So as we kind of talked about right now, you do your print it as a PDF and then send it in. The idea would be there would in the future sometime there would be a fully electronic system where that information flows right through, and then that whole step of printing and sending in and then any sort of data entry and such is all a thing of the past. But this technology thing can be a challenge sometimes, and so yes, all in good time.
So this is another Dale question. Would the AgriSuite feature into the overview where we could better control the lines and create different subjects in different lines rather than packing everything into one paragraph?
When I saw this question, I went into the software and attempted to do it. You can do line breaks and paragraphs in the text, and maybe I'll take a second here and try sharing my screen.
Just let me unshare my screen. Oh, just a minute. Maybe I can. Yeah, I said multiple participants can share at the same time, so maybe that will work.
Okay. Okay, is this the right thing to do? What do you see?
I'm going to stop sharing. There you go.
That's probably, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you see? Sorry, what do you see, Janet?
Your resources page.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that
General
change?
info.
Okay, good. Okay, so in the overview of the operation, I'm just going to go to this first one. I'm going to type some gibberish, but like I can type some gibberish, I can do a line, I can do a carriage return or enter or whatever. I can do a number of lines. So you can do multiple paragraphs. I hope that answers the question.
Dale?
Yes.
It says right. In the bottom right corner,
Yep.
You can pull and drag and make that bigger so you can see all that you're typing.
There you go.
I don't know if that helps anybody.
So you can change the size of the text box. You can do your paragraphs. Hopefully that that helps what the person was asking about.
Can you copy and paste into that section, the overview?
I believe so. That was the goal.
Yes, you can. I did that when I was testing.
Okay, thanks.
Good. All right, I'll go back to sharing the screen then.
Sorry, Janet. There's a question about what happens in the report. Can you share your screen again, Dale, and those line breaks that you have? If you go to your generate your report, what does it look like in the report?
That's a very good question too, isn't it? Sorry, got to share the screen. Yeah. So in the report generator, it separates them by a semicolon. That's very helpful. Okay, we'll work on that too. Sorry, I didn't hit share enough times. So here's the text that I put in. I said that I could do line breaks and all that formatting and stuff like that, and apparently you can't. It just it prints it side by side.
So you're going to look into that then, Dale?
Yep. We'll
final
deal with
answer?
that. Yep.
Okay. Good. Is there any other questions on that, Desiree?
No, I don't see any more.
Okay. So another Dale question, have the developers considered an upload additional PDF documents feature for the new AgriSuite? So everything is all in one.
Yeah, and again, maybe coming someday with our electronic submissions.
This one, I didn't give you a whole lot of chance to, oops, I just got rid of it there. Someone has found that there's a lack of consistency in townships in regards to their knowledge and enforcement of the regulations, and wondered if OMAFRA and MECP review with townships to make sure they're aware of the regulations, or what is done there.
Sure, I can start. So I think it was 2 years, it's probably more than 2 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a new MDS version that came out. So we did a round of training consultation with them, with the municipalities at that point. There hasn't been a real concentrated effort, I guess, or kind of a province-wide, township by township education on nutrient management for a while. We used to do that back in the beginning for sure. Now it's more as needed basis. So when townships have questions, our field staff are mainly the main first contacts out there. So they're answering questions as they come. If there is an issue, if you can let us know which townships you think need some help, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, it's as needed. And I think there may be some training coming as well with the new MDS software. So that would be another opportunity to, remind on MDS rules and nutrient management rules at that point. So that would be my answer to that one. But again, just to if you are finding issues, you can anonymously let us know that there's a township that might need some help or an update, and we can look into it from there.
Does anyone else have any questions for our experts here? Well, we have them as a captive audience. Good. I guess you've answered everything, all of our excellent presenters, so I really appreciate that.